Yeah, agreed. It's middle ground bridge shit. Yeah, it's fuck off. We know what it means. Yeah, there is no middle ground. There is no bridge. There is we say no. End of. That's the sentence that we go with.
Well,
And
I was going to say, what you call her, Lescat blocked me. I've never spoken to the woman at all. I've
Oh,
never even engaged with her. I've never tweeted at her, never replied, never liked any of her Facebook
no.
posts.
Oh, it must be a mistake.
No, no, she blocked me, and what's her name, Louise Moody, blocked me, but they're dead pally with Grace. So I'm presuming it was because of that. So I just blocked them back. I was like, fuck you. It'll backfire on them because the more and more I do spaces and the more people I get that come in as guests that are interesting, they'll lose out because I won't let their alt speak because I know what they sound like. They'll just get booted from the space if they get asked for a mic and I know it's them. They'll just be like, bye. Sorry, you're blocked for a reason. I just won't tolerate it anymore. I'm so sick of their childish behaviour. It's like, go away. I've
I don't think Lescap is like that, though, Nay. I don't know
I
Louise
don't
Moody
know.
at all,
She
so.
blocked Gavin.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's only recently unblocked Gavin, but she had blocked him. So yeah, I do think she's a bit like that. So I think there's lots of stuff that goes on. I just can't be bothered.
she's in the feminist circle. She's published her own book and that. Yeah, and her book's pretty good as well. And I just
I do know, Spiky. I'm just going to say this is I was a little bit surprised in the Louise Moody space where she was so comfortable with the person that we all know. I don't know. We all move in different circles, don't we? But I think I don't know about.
oh, are
I'm
you
not.
on about the cry the woman crying with her voice and
Oh, fuck that bullshit.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it right now. Fuck that
Fruella was
bullshit.
right. Fruella was on the ball on that.
She was. She's not. I wouldn't say I'm a 100% Fruella. I love
Fill
her.
us in. Fill us in, because we don't know what you're talking about. I left that space after a while.
Yeah,
Well, you
exactly.
can listen to the recording, lovely, and I will send you the thing. But fuck that bullshit. When I hear that, I'm not having it. No. Oh, and I don't care if it's being recorded and you record it and you can replay it wherever you want. No, no, it's a hard fucking boundary. I don't care who comes for me or says I'm a bad person. I think, no, that person, no, I don't want anything to do with. And I think there's a lot of people who've felt the same way.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. And Fruella went nuts and started screaming at her.
Well, she no, she didn't start screaming at her. She
She did.
she said what
I
all
never
of us
heard it.
wanted to say.
Okay, yeah.
She
Well,
was
I don't know.
challenging
See,
all of us.
nobody wants to tell me. This is what I don't. What's what I don't know. And I think some people think, oh, I talk behind the scenes or whatever. I don't at all. I have not. Not.
No, honey, it's recorded. You can listen to it. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? It is.
I know what you're trying to say, and I did hear that part. I thought you were. I didn't. I honestly didn't know what you were talking about, and then it's just hit me like a ton of bricks. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm saying. Oh, anyways, it doesn't matter. Just move
Yeah,
on.
it's irrelevant. Yeah, but I mean, I like Lescat.
But one thing that she just said, oh, so we've had lovely exchanges. So and the thing is, there
Oh,
was
I
a
don't know
lot of
then. I don't know. I don't know about that.
we'll listen to the space, but that's the thing that annoys me is the fact that somebody with the big account is saying, "Oh no, you're a lovely person," and
Yeah,
then the thing is like going, so she automatically gets sort of validation, and there are some of us here who know what's gone down, and I don't really want to get into it because I don't really talk about it that often, but we know what fucking went down, and I was like so glad Ferrara went so hard. Your job as a host, or if you've got some people co-hosting and everything, it's making sure everybody's all right. Make sure you don't have a fucking crazy person who's got 11 billion personality disorders. Like, oh, I can't.
I just, I think what annoys me in all of this is that, they're so good at targeting certain individuals. And yet, where were they when that was all going on? Where were they when the Ollie stuff was going on? Where were they when all the EJ stuff was going on, and Not a Cheap, or the Kylie stuff, Not a Cheap again, radio silent. And then when it comes to shit stirring and trolling, they're right on it when it comes to the GC people. And it really annoys me. It really, really fucks me off no end.
Who do
And
you mean by they, Nay? Just so I'm understanding.
well, pretty much the whole, there's about 10 of them. That there's a little gang, and they all seem to like block people and join in the vitriol. And you just need to go on certain people's pages and you'll see who all yaps with each other, but they're all as bad as each
And is
other.
that like Lescap is involved in that or no?
Well, I don't think she joins in the bitching, but she's obviously in with that sort of group, if you know what I mean. Whether they're in a DM group or not and they exchange stuff, I have no idea, because I'm not in that group. But I kind of guess they will. I kind of guess because that's their behaviour. It kind of goes to that pattern, but I have no idea. I can't, I can't say yay or nay to it, but my logical guess is they are. That they're all a little group together.
With
You know,
Elskap and Louise Moody, I just think their space organising skills weren't too great, and that needs addressing because that did feel like a car crash space. I think the
yeah,
first one
but
was better, and the
I
second one
think
was
And you
worse.
know what? They're doing their space at the same time that Bookish and Pija are doing theirs. Did you notice that advertisement?
No, oh for
yeah,
fuck's
but
sake!
they don't. They look. I'm always very cautious about when I run spaces. I have my little time slots. And, if someone says, oh, it's going to clash with such and such, I'll either change the time or the day. Because I'm not going to, like run a space that is in conjunction with, other women to take away from. Now, there's political spaces that pretty much go on pretty much all the way through the week in Scotland. So it's very hard not to clash with them. But the boys, they're not normally in our spaces, so it's fine, and they can jump in and out if they want. But I try very hard not to clash with people. That's, yeah. They don't have a robust block list, the other thing.
It's a shit show sometimes, isn't it? It's just like
And like the thing with Exelantic and that guy in the blue velvet dress,
Yeah. What do you make of
yeah,
that?
I don't know whether she was acting a part or whether she was doing what she thought she should be doing. But it really surprised me. But then again, I was also in a space with her a while ago that she sort of like offered me co-host, and she was into talking to this D-trans bloke that just seemed, yeah, I'm not sure whether she's gone over to the true trans or not, but she was so far the other way. You know, the way she calls it, she's called it a cult. She's done the religious stuff and all the rest of it. Yeah, so I'm not sure.
I have to say, though, that I think all of us that have not been down this road have no idea, even if we've listened to them speak, if we've read their work, or not work, whatever, they've spoken about it, written about it. They are different because of what they've had done to their bodies. And they are different because they went to the lengths they did to have those things done to their bodies. And so I think, given that, they find each other because there's camaraderie in it, do you know? Even if it's, that was a man that did it to his body and that was a woman that did it to her body, or, he's got this paraphilia or whatever, like there's maybe a mentality of we are different.
kindness is important.
I think that the line needs to, you can be nice, you can be empathetic, compassionate, but you have to kind of draw the line at your boundaries and safeguarding. I think that's, it's like what I tried to say in Kelly's space yesterday was, there's a difference between, the heterosexual AGPs. It's like the primary focus is a fetish. It's the number one priority. I always think of the T as four different categories. You have the AGPs, which are predominantly heterosexual men or bisexuals that are essentially tourists in the bisexual world, but they're predominantly heterosexuals, and they purely do it to get off. And then you've got the homosexual ones who are a
I
hot.
don't think, just so you know, Nay, I don't think they're any fucking different to the straight ones.
I do. I think you. I half of me really wanted to ask Cara about the stuff that she talked about anorexia. If you meet someone with a body dysmorphia, and they're very very few and far between, so you kind of have to question why they have it. It's mixed in with a hotbed of stuff. It's so complex to understand, Spikey. It really is. If you ever meet one and you actually read about all the stuff that they have to go through, it's incredibly complex.
I believe
Yeah.
homosexual men LARPing as women are wanting men to fancy them and get their validation via men fancying them, and they don't care whether it's straight men or gay men fancying them. And in fact, I would say that if a gay man thinks he can pull off being a woman and a straight man gets flirty with him, he's getting validation in the same way that your straight AGP is getting that validation from a woman. I see absolutely no difference.
So I'm going to pull host privilege and say that what I think is I actually don't care about the boys, which is weird since I have one. Is I actually care about the girls.
I really enjoy listening to someone who's actually studied, you know, these women and why they do it properly, and then written about it. Be interested to see what they say.
Yeah, but we don't all have to be psychologists or anthropologists or have degrees and things. It's like, oh, what's happened to girls recently? Why are they all identifying out of wanting to be women? Oh, could it be the unfettered access to porn that is pervasive in our society? And you
And
thought
do you
that
know who?
young
Do you know
women
what
would be
religion
fine?
pushes the porn? Do you know who owns most of the major porn sites? Do you know what religion it is?
Oh, go on. Please don't tell me it's a Catholic church.
No, no. Do you know who it is? Have a guess.
Transhumanism?
Nope.
Latter-day Saints?
Nope. Have a guess.
Well,
Who?
then, I guess. Tell us.
No, no. Guess who? Guess who? Oh, like the people that own, or they? I don't know if they still
China?
sell it. No, I'm talking about all the faiths. Are they Catholic, Jewish, Muslim? Christian, stuff like that. The owners are the owners that own this big company that then owns these sort of subsidiary companies of all these porn companies are based in Canada.
Sikh? Because we have a very large Sikh community here.
No, um,
Just tell us.
Yeah, just fucking tell us.
one of the people that owns it is Jewish. It's really interesting. If you look at all the major porn sites, they all spout about religion, which I find fascinating. That the people that are doing the most damage in the world, 'cause they're owned by various religions. But I did actually think about having a space with Dr. M to talk about this.
I'm going to be getting off soon. But I think for all of this, since it's been going on, the thing that made things easier for me is Twitter Spaces and you lot. But because I can sort of like come in here, listen to you lot, chat to you lot, I don't feel as crazy as I did about stuff. We get so much from just hanging out together that that's what will get us through all of this. And these networks that we're building now might possibly still be there in 50 years, being used by our daughters and granddaughters and great granddaughters. I do think this is going to be the roots of what will become something that our, our granddaughters and great granddaughters. And when I talk about that, I'm also talking about the lesbians that are coming, the young lesbians today and lesbians of tomorrow and generations down the road.